This is Purist Rant, episode 11. What the hell just happened over the past week? It was so much longer. Like, what, 10 days? 10 days. Well, actually, 2 weeks since you started. I. This. This is Purist. This is my rant. But I don't think it's gonna be much of a rant today. I mean, because I don't even know what or even how to articulate my thoughts, really. I only rarely talk about general politics. I mean, I talk about politics sometimes in the context of video games, but not really anything to do in general. But what happened on September 10? Well, actually, kind of started with that woman who was just fucking stabbed to death in a subway train. And now with Charlie Kirk, like, I hardly even knew who he was. I mean, I vaguely knew who he was. Like, I knew he was one of those I didn't know what he did. I knew he just went around talking to people. And apparently that can you know, get enough people riled up that you can actually just get shot. And I don't I I'm so appalled. No, I'm just so upset. This guy just talked to people, man. He 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 didn't even do it forcefully. You know, he didn't rant and rave. He just went to college campuses and just sat at a table and just asked them what they thought about stuff. Like, he just, he was just a dude. Which I think is one of the reasons why everyone is like so shook up about it, because whenever this happens to, well, or like, this kind of thing almost happens, as it did with Trump a couple of times, it feels like there's a level of disconnect there. Or with the healthcare CEO in New York. It feels like there's a level of disconnect because I mean, with Donald Trump, it happens to a politician. There's a level of disconnect because not many people are politicians. Same with CEOs. They're like rich. They're like nothing like me, so there's like, a disconnect there. But Charlie Kirk, he's different. He's exactly like you and me. As I keep saying, he's just a guy. He's just a dude with a wife, couple kids, who was a pretty devout Christian and just by all accounts, just a good bloke. Like, and we have so many people just like, I mean, I don't really have social media except YouTube, so I guess I'm lucky in that aspect because I hold the long-standing aspect I have for like the past 10, 15 years. Is that I like person. I like the idea of person. Like the person, like the individual, but I don't like people, if that makes sense. And I feel like the further and further we get into the century, the more and more my belief system is proven right. I want to share with you something that I found out recently. There was a period, or I feel like there was a period between when Jesus Christ, the person, was killed, and when Christianity was, well, how do I put this? Commodified and like utilized as a tool of the state. There's like a couple of 100 years in there where I feel like I would have been, if I was born in that, still a little bit sick, forgive me. I feel like the ideals of Christianity were pure. And I feel like, because like in between that aspect, before it was like adopted by a state religion by Constantine, before yeah it before that it was like a cult, or not a cult in which we generally associate as to being a cult, but more like a following, where it feels like, I mean, it's not just Christianity, it's basically any Western religion. And I count Islam in this as well because, you know, it's really interesting, the whole aspect of how we classify like Western religion. It's not Western at all. Anyway, I know why I went on that tangent, but yeah. There was a point. Somewhere along the lines. Well, actually, over the next 1,000 or so years, where, you know, the Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire waned, the Eastern Roman Empire gained in strength and prosperity, and feudal society kind of reigned. Christianity had a purpose. It was used as a means of control. A means of controlling tithes and, in some cases, arguing to be, you know, to utilize it against the state and all of that. But Christianity also served as a moral backbone. And this is where we're coming back to with Charlie Kirk. I feel like when everyone started denigrating like religion as being old fashioned, and like atheism kind of started getting its rise. I mean, no thought in atheism. I'm also an atheist. Feels like maybe not the belief system, but the actual moral backbone of the religion kind of served a purpose. And that since we've been kind of without that for like 30-ish years, I feel like we lost sight of that. Like, most westernized societies have basically thrown caution to the wind and said, screw that. We're not gonna follow, like, Judeo-Christian, like, morality because it gets lumped in with the Judeo-Christian religion and what they've done to the rest of the world. You know, the whole Crusades and all that stuff. Which, that's a whole nother thing I could probably go into my own podcast about. I mean, my own podcast episode about. Clearing up the, misconceptions about the Crusades. That's another thing. I feel like as a society we kind of lumped in Judeo-Christian morality with Judeo-Christian religion and have just automatically assumed that it was bad. But as a result, especially over the last 10-15 years, we started attacking each other over opinions. Like, in some cases, physically attacking each other because of words. Freaking words. As I'm recovering, I keep tossing that. Like, for the last couple of days, I keep tossing that in my head. And I still can't make sense of it. Why? Why do we fucking do this? I don't want to live in a world where people are gleefully shouting that just a regular dude is dead just because he said stuff that you don't agree with. Do we have any fucking empathy, man? He's just a guy. I keep repeating that, but it bears repeating. He's just a guy. I mean, I could go on to all these tangents about whose fault it really is, but, like, I don't think it really is anyone's fault. In fact, I'm probably going to take something. An opinion not many people really have. I think it's social media's fault. The very aspect that controversial opinions became monetizable. And since more people click on controversial opinions, they get pushed to more people. And if those controversial opinions get pushed to more people, then more people obviously will get indoctrinated to said beliefs and they'll start making more controversial opinions, and thus the cycle just has spread and spread and spread, so that apparently people just shooting a guy at a college campus in broad daylight in like multiple angles at like 4K. That apparently it's not. It seems like it's. Apparently, people don't think it's a big deal anymore. Oh yeah, someone just fucking died. Yeah, that's fine. Apparently, I'm never usually like this. Like, how have we become so fucking callous that we can celebrate someone's death with no repercussions? Even saying that, no, I can't even repeat it. It's so outrageous to me that people will actually think this is a good thing to say on public forums around the internet. That this is. What did he say? I think we should just stop with this whole social media thing. At least with, you know, algorithmic, you know, first social media. This was a failed experiment, I think. We need to. I mean, X is kind of bit of a special case, but there still needs to be like, you know, stuff taken to be curb. It's like, you know, integration with like bots and all that stuff. Still needs to be improvement, but like literally every single other one, including YouTube, I believe should be broken up, shut down, its algorithmic like tendencies cleaned up, and just, I mean, I don't know if this can even be possible at this point, but I think this whole rhetoric around this division, this separation of people just because of not even political opinions, just general opinions. Like, apparently that's a crime. And I don't want to live in this world anymore. I suppose. I feel kind of lucky in that I have restricted myself to this one platform to spread my views and my content. Because I was already a private person. But what this happened, apparently people can just stab a random person in a train or shoot someone at a college campus just because. Well, in the case of the woman on the train, she didn't really do anything, did she? She was just on her phone, just having a normal day, and now she's dead. Same with Charlie Kirk, he was just talking with someone. Ship. Now he's dead. Makes me want to dig a hole and hide. Makes me want to not want to go out in public again. Fuck it, I'm going to. I want to. I mean, I feel like even if no one listens to me, I feel like I still need to. Because this is the basis of democracy. I mean, I thought. Yeah, this is the basis of democracy, and it shouldn't be curtailed by just random psychopaths online. Shouldn't happen. I started rewatching Freerun. Uh, those who don't know, it's an anime about well, it's really good. I feel like I can't describe it without spoiling it, but it's really good. She absolutely hates demons. And there's a quote from that show that I'm paraphrasing here. Let's see if I can remember it. You know what? I can't really do it justice. It demons in Freerun, they basically disguise themselves as humans to get inside their houses, gain their trust, and then when their back is turned, they just kill them and eat them. I feel like, sadly, that this is what we're kind of dealing with. Like, in my view, if you don't, if you physically don't have any empathy toward another human being simply because they said rhetoric that you disagree with, I don't think you're human at that point. Because humans were pack animals, we're herd animals. We're supposed to be social. We're supposed to care about each other. Supposed to have, family units spread out into, clusters of family units to, tribes, towns. And I feel like this goes back to that tribe mentality. That if a person in that tribe is being super selfish, is oh, maybe not hoarding, but like, is like actively damaging the rest of the tribe. I feel like, I mean, what they did was just cast them out. Just to leave them. I feel like that's the only way we can stop this. Well, one, just basically negate the use of algorithms and social media, if that's even possible. And two, just once that happens, probably just ignore them and hope that they just go away. I mean, they kind of like self isolate themselves to Blue Sky, but apparently that's not working. So, okay, this is the last analogy. But weirdly enough, Kyle Reese, uh, sorry, um, I'm reminded of a quote by Kyle Reese from the first Terminator film. Weirdly enough, it feels like these people are basically machines, which is weird to postulate because they fight with the exact opposite ideology of what machines are supposed to do. Instead of pure logic, they run on pure emotion. And as a result, they cannot be reasoned with, they cannot be bargained with, and they absolutely will not stop until you are dead. I feel like that is exactly what we're dealing with. I mean, I used to think you can, talk your way out of most problems, but it seems like that's not an option anymore. sadly. I don't want to fight, but it seems like these guys have to be ostracized from society and they must be left behind. Or if they are unwilling to be left behind, well, you can probably fill in the blanks. Anyway, I think I've ranted on long enough. I'm gonna have a lie down. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day in spite of everything that's happened. I've been Purist. Rip Charlie Kirk.